Welcome to the Autistic Culture Podcast, where we celebrate autistic contributions to society and culture.
Join us every Tuesday as we dive into everything from famous autistics in history to the pop culture, unique passions, and the special interests that define our community.
Whether you're autistic or love someone who is, welcome to Autistica. We're your hosts, Dr. Angela Kingdon, the linguistic autistic,
and Matt Lowry, licensed psychological practitioner. Join us as we explore the values, traditions, and identity of Autistica. Episode 97, SpongeBob is Autistic. Hey, Angela.
Hey, Matt.
Oh, we've got a really interesting one today because this one, a lot of time, one of the things that I talk about is that autistic people have friends, family, and fictional characters with whom we identify.
Yes.
And
we have T-shirts. That's our number one top-selling T-shirt.
Is it?
People love their friends, family, and fictional characters. It's true.
Yay! I like that. I'm glad that people like that. That's very cool. So there are a lot of wonderful fictional characters out there that we heavily identify with, and that we adopt into our homes, we adopt into our lifestyle. We become friends with them, and we befriend them for various reasons.
Do some of them live in a pineapple under the sea?
Indeed. And for years, because SpongeBob has been on for 25 years now. A quarter of a century, brand new episodes the entire time. The creator only intended for it to go for 3 seasons and a movie. Because
seeing as we are both under 25, this show has been running our entire lives.
Yes, because I am absolutely young. Look at me.
Definitely young.
Yes.
Me too. You can notice it by the bags under my eyes.
Yeah. And this is the thing, because a lot of people I've known, and I know a lot of autistic people love SpongeBob. And recently, SpongeBob actor Tom Kenny came out and said explicitly that SpongeBob is autistic. And today we are, it doesn't come as a big surprise to anybody, because, if, it came out and said, like, He-Man's autistic, you're like, really? Huh, didn't expect that. That would be a new one. I didn't see any of those traits all along. But, hey, we can go with it. Why not? Although Entrapta is canonically autistic in The Princess of Power, and we'll have to cover that in a whole new episode, but that's a whole other thing. But with SpongeBob, it did not come as a surprise to anyone, because SpongeBob has a lot of autistic characteristics. And indeed, everything about SpongeBob from the beginning has autism baked into its DNA.
We were feeling it.
Yeah.
This is when we talk about autism diagnosis and how it can be like multiple sessions over multiple months, and they have to like interview your 3rd grade teacher and your mother, even if you're like 65 years old. They're like, gotta exhume her bones so that we can interview her to see if you ate your hair when you were 7. And we're all like, yeah, but when we see someone autistic like SpongeBob, we just kind of know it. We kind of don't need to talk to SpongeBob's mom. Thanks, got it.
Yeah. And this is the thing, because not only does SpongeBob have a lot of traits where we're going to be going over, and again, keep in mind, there's for people who this is their first episode about the Autistic Culture Podcast, the DSM, the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, Volume 5, text revision, is incredibly limiting and pathologizing when it comes to autistic traits, because the DSM-5 TR focuses entirely on social deficits and how we impact the neurotypicals around us. We recently covered that on either
one of our advocacy episodes.
It's either an episode before this or after this, because the way we record this, I have no idea where we are in the time frame. Yeah, it's there someplace.
But I mean, the other thing about the DSM is it's science is often wrong. Like, it's not right. It also said like homosexuality was
in the DSM-3. The DSM-3 had homosexuality listed as a paraphilia, same as being a pedophile. So,
right. So
we update as we go along, as we better understand and the DSM level. The DSM-1 said that all women have hysteria and all children have adjustment of childhood. So,
and
yeah,
were we childhood schizophrenia then? Was autism childhood schizophrenia?
Well, that was I think 2 or 3 back then, but
okay. Yeah. So
yeah.
It's wrong. We know it's wrong. It's almost like an alien came in and examined our species, and they're like, they must have eaten plates.
Yeah.
There were so many plates. It's like, no, you don't have it quite right, but I see where you got that idea. So go listen to our reframing the autism DSM criteria episode if it's out, and if not, look forward to it.
If not, it'll be out either last week or next week, maybe sometime. In 2 weeks at some point, timey-wimey. It has been recorded. Whether or not you can hear it at this point in time, I don't know. You're in the future.
We know what
I'm
it
not.
Says, though.
So yeah.
We've got it.
Yeah. So this is the thing. We're going to talk today about the autistic history of SpongeBob's creator. We're going to talk about all of SpongeBob's traits, and then we're going to talk about the life of Tom Kenny, SpongeBob's voice actors. We did an episode about voice actors being autistic and why SpongeBob being autistic is important to the community. Mm-hmm. So first of all, let's talk about... By the way,
Matt, before we go into first of all, that episode, reframing the DSM diagnosis, that is 9 episodes ago.
Oh, 9 episodes ago. Really?
All we do is record. All we do, you guys, just me and Matt. We're here. We're recording. We don't know. We're just locked in this box. We're locked in astounding. A computer together. It's 9 episodes ago. Go listen to it if you didn't already.
So that is far in the past.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Well, okay. Yeah.
It's a blur, sir. I don't know.
Yeah. But here in the TARDIS, time has no meaning.
Exactly. Did we say timey-wimey?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! But let's talk about our friend SpongeBob, and hopefully we'll talk about Patrick too.
Well, first of all, let's talk about Steven Hillenburg, because Steven Hillenburg was the creator of SpongeBob. He was born in 1961. His father was in the aerospace industry. Because, rocket science and autism tends to be...
That's what we do. That's what we do. We do the rocket science. But also, we haven't talked about Jules Verne, but I kind of think Under the Sea and also space are very similar.
It's about exploration. Yes, it's the exploration of the unknown. And this is actually one of Steven's special interests. Because he described himself as, quote, probably well-meaning and naive, like all kids. But he had, at the age of 6, a very passionate interest in Jacques Cousteau, the French oceanographer, and would watch Jacques Cousteau documentaries about adventures under the sea. It provided him a view into the world, and he would go and explore tide pools and go out and explore the ocean. He would come home smelling very bad with all the discoveries that he had made, and he really, really liked drawing the stuff that he found in the tide pools. Mm-hmm. So this is the thing, the exploration, and Jacques Cousteau is not a common interest for a kid. Perhaps more in the 60s, maybe. But again, being an oceanographer, for neurotypical kids, not so much, but I see a lot of kids who want to be marine biologists. Mm-hmm. So anyway, he became an artist, and he started, he got praised from his art teacher. He got a lot of artistry from his mother's side, but his father was a draftsman in the aerospace industry. So there's a lot of coordination on both sides about this. So someone took him to the International Tourney of Animation at the Los Angeles County Museum of Art, and he was, quote unquote, knocked out by animated foreign films. This was the 70s.
70s. So that would be like 70s. A lot of the Czech animation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So he developed an interest in animation and marine biology, and he started studying marine biology in college.
Well,
and
wait, hold on. Stop here. This
Yeah.
is every single either autistic person or parent of an autistic person listening. If you are ever like, my special interests could never make me millions of dollars. Like, I could never have a career with my special interests. Literally, dude is drawing pictures of sea creatures and watching cartoons.
Yeah. He loved cartoons. He loves sea creatures, and these come to a head.
I have parents who like say things to me like, I'm just worried about my kid like living in my basement my whole life.
Yeah. Only playing with the tide pools.
All he wants to do is play with Tide Pods and play with tide pools and watch cartoons. This kid's never getting out of my basement. Oh yeah, there is a job in every special interest.
Exactly. So he became a band geek. Went snorkeling, decided he loved snorkeling, and decided to pursue marine biology in college. But he also liked being an artist. So he liked drawing fish, but he liked making, quote, weird little paintings. He went to school, but he had to make the ends meet. So what do you think he did for a job while he was in college?
Did he paint naked girls? Did he make naked paintings? No, just paintings. He got paid to make paintings. He made naked paintings. I know they were naked. Were they naked? Am I wrong? Why is my gut just told me this dude is drawing naked girls?
He worked in fast food.
Oh, okay. Oh, Krusty Krab.
Yeah.
You said he liked to make paintings.
He did, okay. But he had to pay the bills somehow, and this is where SpongeBob's famous trait of drawing naked ladies comes from.
No, this is where SpongeBob's trait of Krusty Krab. I get it now. I was just, okay, I'm not like that. I just thought, listen, if I like making paintings and I needed to make money in college, I wrote people's term papers in college for $10 a page.
I don't think SpongeBob would be able to pull that one off. But
how did this dude work in fast food? It's hot. People yell at you. Autistic people should not work in fast food. He should have thought of my idea. My idea was better.
Yeah. He worked at a seafood restaurant.
Called the Krusty Krab.
Cooking crab and lobsters. Okay. And yeah. So yeah.
Okay, fine.
With the occasional naked lady, but yeah, But
naked lobsters.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
A whole thing.
Yeah. So he became a marine science major and minored in art, and he got his bachelor's degree in natural resource planning and interpretation with an emphasis on marine resources.
Okay.
He planned to get a master's, but he said it would be in art. But he was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make a living as an artist. I'd rather keep art as my passion and hobby and study something else. But by the time he got to the end of his undergrad work, he realized it should be in art. So in 1984, he decided to become a park service attendant in Utah and an art director for San Francisco before teaching kids. So he got a job at the Orange County Marine Institute, now the Ocean Institute, and decided to teach kids about tide pool ecology, nautical history, diversity, and adaptation. And
my God.
All these kids were very, very interested about the stuff that he had to talk about. So he decided to make a little book.
Okay. Of naked ladies?
Of course.
No, not
yes, because the kids wanted a book. He made naked ladies for the children. And this is the reason no one ever heard from him, because he's been in prison for the past 7 years.
The end. Bye-bye.
Yes, exactly.
But the good news is he didn't die.
Yeah. So he made, and we are including a link to this so you can download it right now. Well, keep listening and download and then read it later. A book called The Intertidal Zone. And it featured some of his favorite creatures, including a starfish and a creature that he just thought was hilarious, a sea sponge.
Oh, yeah, they're funny.
The sea sponge was named Bob the Sponge. And so he tried to get it published, but any publisher he approached turned him down. So he just made it himself.
I think he should have workshopped that name, though. Bob the Sponge. Bob the Sponge.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, because natural sea sponges are round, are sort of spherical, but kitchen sponges are square, so this or rectangular, but yes, SquarePants.
Square.
Indeed.
I hope they workshopped it.
So he started attending animation festivals such as the International Tourney of Imagination and Spike and Mike's Festival of Animation, where student films from CalArts were shown, and he decided he wanted to become an animator. So he left his job in '87 to be a full-time animator. And he said that it was scary, but science education is more of a struggle. And he tried to get the intertidal zone, but again, that it wasn't a big thing. So he started working on other shows that you may know about. His first shorts were The Green Beret and Wormholes in 1991 and 1992 at CalArts. Let's see here, but the biggest one, he got a job for a small channel called Nickelodeon.
Okay, good. Yeah.
And on this, he started working on as a director on Rocko's Modern Life. And he worked closely with Joe Murray. Joe Murray loved the work that he did with Wormholes and all the experimental animation that he did. And he said that Joe Murray saw my film and he took a huge chance. But they worked really closely together. And in particular, the third season episode, Fish and Chumps, was co-written and directed by Hillenburg, which involved Rocco, Heffer, and Filbert going on a fishing trip, oblivious to the fact that a pair of anthropomorphic sea creatures are attempting to catch them from underwater. So he also met a voice actor named Tom Kenny while working on Rocko's Modern Life. And during the fourth and final season of Rocko, he was promoted to creative director, where he was promoted to pre and post production. And he learned a lot about writing, producing animation for TV. And that's when he said that he was going to start making his own show. So he back, let's see here. SpongeBob was Nickelodeon's first original Saturday morning cartoon, premiering on May 1st, 1999. There was a preview on May 1st, premiered on July 17th, and a lot of critics really, really liked it. It overtook Pokemon as the highest rated Saturday morning TV series. Wow. And by 2002, the show's total viewership reached more than 61 million. 20 million of which were aged 18 to 49.
That was back before we all stared at TikTok all day long and scrolled 3-minute videos. We would sit down for a whole 22-minute show on a couch looking at a big TV.
He said he didn't expect the show to be very popular, even to adults. And he said, we just try to make ourselves laugh, then ask if it's appropriate for children.
Okay. And this is where he stopped with the naked girls. I see.
Oh, because, selectively. But he really, really planned to stop the show after 60 episodes, because traditionally in animation, you get around 65 episodes, and that's enough to go into syndication, and they don't make anymore. But he after the third season, he made the SpongeBob SquarePants movie in 2004. So in 2002, he stopped production of the show. He said, "Yeah, we've done enough." SpongeBob SquarePants movie came in 2004. He said, "Yeah, we're good. We can move on to something else." But Nickelodeon said, "No, this is bringing far too much movie. This shall go forever."
Mm-hmm.
So it has been going for 25 years since then. He, he left the show because he didn't want to jump the shark. The phrase where in this case it would be literal, but
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like Fonzie. But he didn't want the
Also
quality to
literal.
dip, but came back for the ninth season onwards. But he in the meantime he formed United Plankton Pictures, a television film production company. Did SpongeBob comics, uh, Who's Who in animated cartoons. He said that he's co-writing, co-directing Rob Zombie's comic book series, The Haunted World of El Super Beasto, in 2006, and a few other things. But this is where it sort of takes a darker turn. He was
Should we take a break before we have a darker turn?
It's a good time because we're still on an upbeat thing, and
Oh no.
we could take a break. But coming up in part 2, we're going to talk about some more traits that Stephen Hillenburg had, the surprising medical diagnosis that leads into eternal darkness, and we're going to talk about SpongeBob SquarePants' autistic traits. But first, let's talk about this very upbeat ad.
Hey everybody, this is Angela, and I have an incredible opportunity to share with you from friend of the pod and one of my favorite authors that I've had the opportunity to work with, Becca Lori Hector. Becca's book, Always Bring Your Sunglasses, is a heartfelt and honest look at life through the lens of an autistic adult, filled with insights, personal stories, and a heck of a lot of empowerment. And she is offering it totally 100% free to our listeners. All you have to do is visit alwaysbringyoursunglasses.com. That's alwaysbringyoursunglasses.com for a free copy of Becca's book.
And now we return. Yay. So we are here talking about how SpongeBob SquarePants is autistic. Specifically, at this moment, we're talking about his creator, Stephen Hillenburg, who described himself as very shy. His wife said he doesn't want people to know about his life or family. He's just a really funny, down-to-earth guy with a dry sense of humor who puts his family first and keeps us on our toes in keeping our corporate integrity. And Steven said about himself, I make animation because I like to draw and create things. I have no real interest to be on camera or to be a celebrity. It's not that I don't like people, but I like having my privacy.
Okay.
So he met his wife, who is a chef and an educator, and they created a philanthropy called the United Plankton Charitable Trust. So, ironically, since Plankton is always trying to make money and steal the Krabby Patties, ironically, Plankton was very, very charitable, giving money to lots and lots of causes, and he was incredibly generous. And this is a big thing for us because autistic people tend to have a sense of justice sensitivity. And whereas neurotypical people tend to go for the 3 Ps, power, prestige, and profit, autistic people tend to really, really want to share things and fight for equity, equitability, try to, make things more fair for the people around them. And again, Stephen Hillenburg was a very, very private guy, which is why a lot of this information is coming from the Wikipedia page. Because, believe me, I looked. It's he's a very private man, and very private people like Satoshi Tajiri make it really, really hard to make an episode about them. But one big glaring thing is that in 2017 he was diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease.
Oh, I was like, that sounds like a brain thing. Oh no, it just sounds like ALS. Got it.
Yeah.
It makes me want you to dump a bucket of ice water over your head.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because I was unaware that people with ALS tend to be autistic.
I don't like this. I like it more when you tell me how we don't get cancer.
Yeah. And a study published in Neurology found that relatives of ALS patients with a C9orf72 mutation have 2.7 times higher risk of developing autism than relatives of ALS patients with other genetic issues. And there is a very high link between this. So it's a neurodegenerative disease that affects the motor neurons in the brain and spinal cord. So perhaps the same thing that makes us hyperconnected and makes our neurons hyperconnected could be linked to this. And I
hope people are studying that.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, because unfortunately, because a lot of science is incredibly biased in a cure culture, they're doing the correlation rather the backwards. They're looking at how ALS causes autism.
Yeah,
rather than how autism
I'm like, why
might...
did you give me right? And then when you say that, then it makes people want to do that Simon Baron Cohen thing of like, let's figure out the genetics of autistic people so we could kill the babies in utero.
Yeah.
So I don't like that. Why do you think that autism causes ALS, researchers? I feel like there's just a co-occurrence because of our lack of synaptical pruning.
Well, and that's the thing, because I attend autism trainings the same reason that Statler and Waldorf go to the Muppet Show. So there's one autism training that is put on by PESI, PESI, where a woman talks about how gut bacteria causes autism, because autistic people are very don't have a very variable gut biome. But instead of saying that perhaps neural changes cause people to have a very specific diet, and that very specific diet influences the gut biome, she thinks it's the other way around, because again, we're all looking for what causes autism.
It drives me so crazy. Drives me crazy.
So with the limited information we have, we've got a man with a history of, art and rocket science in the family, who is a very private and shy person who loved cartoons and marine biology, and went on to create a show that was beloved by beloved by lots and lots of people, because it made Nickelodeon a ridiculous amount of money, but beloved by autistic people all over. And there's a lot of stuff that's baked into the DNA of SpongeBob. So Tom Kenny told Bleeding Cool in 2017 he doesn't think that Tom Kenny in 2024 explicitly said that SpongeBob is autistic, but in 2017 he said that once you put a creative work out in the world, it has different uses, and the autism comes up so insanely often that I wish someone would write a term paper or a treatise on it. And this is the reason why it's so common, is because there's a lot of unintentional autistic traits that SpongeBob has. And if, for instance, if a neurotypical person writes a show, it becomes Friends. Where none of the characters have autistic traits.
And nothing makes sense. Their jobs don't make sense. But
right.
We're just we're just going with it. Those apartments.
They exist. There's not a lot of attention to detail. There's no stimming. There's no relationship. Yeah, it's a thing. But SpongeBob, on the other hand, we're going to go on a list of from Sponge Buddy Mania. It's back in 2015. It says SpongeBob is basically a walking DSM-MV, that, again, the misspelling, textbook list for all the traits of, quote, high-functioning autism / Asperger's. Number 1, he can't read social cues. And this is like the biggest thing with SpongeBob. He's completely oblivious to Squidward or Mr. Krabs or literally anyone around him. He doesn't know when he's bothersome. He's not good at reading emotions. And most of the show comes from him being unintentionally annoying, yet endearing, which is a hallmark of our people.
Oh my God. I didn't really get that he was unintentionally annoying. I just thought that was his personality. Oh,
Yeah, he's
okay.
he's delightful.
I thought he was delightful.
Yeah,
Aw.
and that's the thing. And that's the thing. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. But
Okay.
number 2, meltdowns, and a lot of SpongeBob is centered around when things do not work out well for him, because he has a plan. He's going to do the plan, and then there's a crisis where he kind of freaks out, has an exaggerated reaction, has a hangnail, picks all of his skin off, and he's a skeleton for a while, as one does.
Yeah.
If he can't learn how to drive, he's been learning how to drive for years now, it just does not work out. Number 3, he takes things very literally. And that's the thing, because, he, on some occasions, he's got some good problem solving skills. At the end of the day, he's going to figure out a problem he's going to figure out a solution to just about any problem the show throws at him, but he's going to do so incredibly literally. Quote, remember when he and Squidward went on strike and Squidward told him that they would, quote, dismantle the oppressive establishment, which, man, that's awesome. SpongeBob interpreted dismantle the establishment as destroy the building. So he did. As one does.
I mean, it makes sense to me. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah. Number 4, special interests. We all have some area of knowledge or expertise that we really, really dive into. SpongeBob loves fry cooking. It's also his job, and he's the happiest workaholic on television. And again, this is just like his creator. His creator loved marine biology. His creator loved art. His creator was a fry cook. SpongeBob's DNA is copied directly from Stephen Hillenburg. So it's one of those things. He's blind to sarcasm. Again, with the, taking things literally. Yeah. It ties into the whole metaphorical language. One instance of this is when SpongeBob thinks that it's, quote, annoy Squidward Day. It refers to a date on his calendar rather than him annoying Squidward at that particular time. So there's a lot of other things, like when he performs complex math in his head within seconds. He was voted most clumsy in high school. He has near photographic memory, but his rapid recall not so great. And this is one of those things that we tend to have enormous hard drives, but our RAM is very limited because we're processing so much data. We can remember ridiculous, incredible details, like remember annoy Squidward Day, but we at any given moment, if somebody asks you, hey, what's your favorite color? And you're like, I don't know of any colors. What colors? What's a color?
I know. This is like my biggest thing. I will have a conversation with someone with so much intensity and zeal. And I will say, like, we must do A, B, and C. And I lay them out in great detail. It's very important to me. And then, like, a month later, the person will come back to me and be like, oh, I did A, but what were you saying the other 2 things were?
Yeah.
No, and again, no idea. Nothing is there. It's gone. That file has been erased. We could start the conversation over and I could come up with what A, B, and C are, but I don't. Do people just remember things?
Well, this is part of our thing that we call process complexity. Because we are bottom-up processors and because we process so much data, we get very, very in-depth. And this is a whole thing, again, with our monotropic focus that may or may not come again in another episode. But we are very focused on that one thing. The first thing that you said, we will begin processing that one thing. We can't hold several things in there because we get really, really intense on one thing, then we do another thing, then we do another thing. Unless you're ADHD, in which everything goes out the window and functioning is a crapshoot. It's just our way. This is the way. But so
functioning is a crapshoot. Wait, can we make a functioning is a crapshoot shirt?
I hope we can. Let's do that. I need another mug. I finally put all of my mugs up in the new house. I need more mugs of things I say. So yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So
Yes.
this is the thing. SpongeBob in some occasions is a genius. He has remarkable abilities. He can do all sorts of crazy stuff. In other occasions, he's just a tabula rasa, complete blank. So this is, and Patrick is very, very similar in that regard. Which, I mean, honestly, every autistic person has an autistic friend. If you have an autistic friend, surprise, you're probably autistic.
Right.
So this is
especially if you really like them.
Exactly. If you really, really vibe, this is the way. But we've got some more information coming up, especially about Tom Kenny.
Should we do
and
a break?
This
Let's
is
do
probably
a break.
Yeah.
I want to. Did we get to the dark stuff, or is there?
The ALS was
the
ALS was the dark stuff, because it's Stephen Hillenbrand, by all accounts, was a wonderful, wonderful guy, but he was taken too soon by an incurable disease that may or may not.
ALS.
ALS. Yeah,
he was taken by ALS. Oh.
He was. Yeah. So yeah, it's very unfortunate. And again, he seemed like a really great, decent guy. And it's always a shame to lose a really good person, especially if he's one of us. But that was the dark
part. All right. Well, we're done with the dark. We will be into the light. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with part 3, when we will talk about the actor who plays SpongeBob.
Hey, clinicians. Are you looking for an affirming way to assess autism and ADHD? NeuroPebble's diagnostic assessment training for master's level clinicians bridges the gap between self-identification and formal testing. This course prioritizes lived experience and understanding the nuances in the diversity of traits. Start today at neuropebble.learnworlds.com and take the first step towards transforming your practice. At NeuroPebble, every idea is a pebble that paves the path to a more neurodivergent, affirming world. That's neuropebble.learnworlds.com.
All right, you are listening. You are listening to the Autistic Culture Podcast with me, Angela Kingdon, and everybody's favorite autistic daddy, Matt Lowry. We have been talking SpongeBob. Matt, I know you are going to tell us the actual, some more scoop on SpongeBob and the actor who plays SpongeBob. So I'll turn it back over to you.
I want a mug that says Autistic Daddy on it.
Oh, people want a mug with your face and your fangs saying "My Autistic Daddy," my friend. So,
really?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a fetish. I'm not sure. The fangs and the people wanting you to be their autistic daddy.
Any women with a fetish for my fangs, so will just drop me a line. I'm in Indiana. If you're willing to travel, I'm willing to make time.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes, and I would say to that, this could be a little side hustle with an OnlyFans page. Maybe we can just get more fang pictures and autistic daddy merch on OnlyFans. If you would subscribe to a Matt Lowry OnlyFans, you just let me know and I'll get that worked out. I promise no feet pictures.
You got the fetish, I got the dad bod and the fangs. We'll work it out. All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
back to SpongeBob.
Oh yeah. But yeah, okay, so Tom Kenny, the voice of SpongeBob, is a living legend. We talked about him briefly on a prior episode when we talked about voice actors being autistic, because voice acting is basically echolalia, palilalia, all kinds of stuff, because we pick up accents from people. We pick up phrases from people. We pick up ways of doing things from people, and we mimic it. And the people who get really, really good at mimicking it get to do it for a living. And Corey Burton, famous autistic man who is the voice of Disney, does a lot of stuff. And Tom Kenny is famously in many, many things. For instance, like Rocko's Modern Life. He's the Ice King in Adventure Time. He's the narrator and the mayor in Powerpuff Girls. He was Dog in Cat Dog. Several voices in Transformers Animated. let's see here. The Penguin in The Batman. Spyro from the Spyro video game after Elijah Wood left. He was on Mr. Show. And he's won 2 Daytime Emmy Awards and 2 Annie Awards for his voice work as SpongeBob and the Ice King. So, he's a very, very talented, very epic voice actor. And again, he recently said explicitly that SpongeBob is autistic.
Mm-hmm.
So,
do you have? There's like a quote on that. He actually said something, right? We should try. We'll link it in the show notes if we can.
Oh yeah, because I don't have it transcribed, but we have a link to him at a panel where he says, autistic people come up to him all the time and ask if SpongeBob is autistic, and he says, of course he's autistic. He's autistic just like you. That's his superpower. And while I'm not fond of the phrase superpower, because although accurate, because Superman can push around the moon, but he's vulnerable to a green rock. Aquaman can beat the green rock, but he's limited to water and fish-based powers. So again, we as autistic people have a very interesting, spiky strength-weakness profile, which fits Kryptonite and Aquaman and all the other, Batman can solve his way out of anything except for therapy. So,
yes.
Yeah. So, Tom Kenny has a very interesting career. He loved drawing and collecting record albums. And he met a kid named Robert in first grade, and they became lifelong friends. And in their mid-teens, they saw an ad for an open mic night at Schenectady's that featured Barry Crimmins, and Barry went by the moniker Bearcat. So he and Robert decided, yeah, we could do that. So Tom Kenny went by the name Tomcat, and Robert Goldthwait went by the name Bobcat. So,
Bobcat Goldthwait.
Yes. He is a lifelong friend of Bobcat Goldthwait.
Maybe Bobcat Goldthwait is the Patrick.
Very much so. Very much so.
I see
and
that.
I strongly suspect that Bobcat Goldthwait might be one of us as well.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're listening to this in chronological order, according to when we have this should be released sometime after Christmas 2024, where you've probably watched Scrooge and seen Bobcat Goldthwait on there. He makes a living making funny voices as well, and he's got a very, very sharp acuity when it comes to character work. So he also started hanging out with this guy named Robert Williams. And Robin Williams.
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams.
I'm like, Robert.
Yeah.
Is that like Robin Williams? No.
Bob Williams.
Bob.
And
Bob.
Yeah. So they had a thing with, and that's a whole other thing. But yeah. So he started getting into he appeared in Bobcat Goldthwait's film Shakes the Clown, comic book The Movie, R.L. Stine's The Haunting Hour, before he got really into more, cartoon stuff. He said that SpongeBob's voice is between that of a child and adult, stating, think Stan Laurel, Jerry Lewis kind of child man, kind of like a Munchkin, but not quite, kind of like a kid, but not in a Charlie Brown child's voice on TV shows. So, Joel Murray, once again, a big factor between Rugrats and the first season of The Simpsons and all kinds of stuff, had voice acting roles for Rocko's Modern Life, and said, hey, perhaps you could come in to fill in for Charlie Adler. Charlie Adler, there was lots of problems there, which is a whole other thing. We'll get into. Well, we won't touch that. No, go away. And then he got into Camp Lazlo, Cat Dog. Let's see here. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Word Girl, Let's see here. Codename Kids Next Door, The Batman, Rick and Morty. He's Squanchy on Rick and Morty, Transformers Animated, again with Corey Burton, epic autistic stuff. Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go, which was fantastic. And let's see here. Sit Down, Shut Up. Along with Kenan Thompson, Kristen Chenoweth, Jason Bateman, Nick Kroll, Sherry O'Terry, Harry Nori Winkler, Will Arnett, and Will Forte, which was, oh my God, that's a voice acting magic thing. He was Ice King in Adventure Time, on Brickleberry. Let's see here, Harry Hugglemonster, Doc Ock on Ultimate Spider-Man. Let's see here. And Spyro. But he's, again, this is the thing. He's got 25 years experience. He met Steven Hillenburg. He knows this stuff. He knows his audience, and he's encountered a lot of autistic people in his time doing this, because who loves conventions? Autistic people.
That's what we do. We con.
We do. Yeah, yeah. When they say that autistic people are not social, no, we just don't do low-level socializing, small talk bullshit.
We don't want bullshit. We want it organized. We want tracks.
Yes,
we want speakers. We want photo opportunities. We want merch.
We want question and answer sessions where we can ask the people that we love hard-hitting questions that are usually answered with, I don't know much about it, but they paid me well, so thanks for coming.
Yeah,
but
that is true. That is the normal answer.
On the occasion where you get somebody like Tom Kinney, who is very, very enthusiastic about what he does and why he does it, he's very, very engaged with his fans, especially his autistic fans, and indeed sees a lot of autistic traits in SpongeBob, which in turn influences his portrayal of SpongeBob. So we've got some autistic traits, and again, one of the tricky things about a lot of autistic people is Tom Kinney also leads a very private life, which is why a lot of the stuff is coming from his Wikipedia page. So the extent of his personal life on the Wikipedia page is, quote, Kinney met his wife Jill Talley in 1992 while working on The Edge. The two have collaborated on many productions together, including SpongeBob SquarePants, in which Talley voices Karen Plankton. They both appear in the music video for Tonight Tonight by the Smashing Pumpkins.
Tonight. Okay. Well,
they have two children, Mac and Nora, and live in Studio City, California. That's it. That's all the information I can find. So, but he's a very private person, but he does like autistic people. He relates to autistic people. He influences the portrayal of SpongeBob as being canonically autistic. So, it's good enough for me. We confirm that SpongeBob SquarePants is indeed one of us. You can't tell for right now because, again, I'm still going through endless boxes of everything in my new house. But when I get my boxes unpacked and put up on the wall, SpongeBob has been added to my wall of autistic heroes because of this. So, yeah, SpongeBob is officially autistic. I suspect strongly, and again, if you take the course about affirming diagnostic criteria from
Neuropebble class.
Yes, I was looking at my teleprompter, and we've already upgraded.
Oh, so, sorry.
Yeah. But I think that we can have enough traits to officially welcome them as citizens of Autistica. So,
do you want to hear what Sammy, our content manager, said about Patrick?
Oh yeah. Is Sammy around? Hi, Sammy.
She's in the conversation. She knew we were recording this, and she's like, "Can you make sure you talk about Patrick's dyspraxia?"
Oh yes, Patrick displays obvious signs of dyspraxia. She was watching the episode where Patrick works at the Krusty Krab, and it's so obvious from how he can't mop to how he can't open the lid on the jar and struggles with motor skills on the job. It took her back to how she felt at her last retail job in the mall. only if she's being bullied by a coworker, whereas SpongeBob always helps Patrick and never gives up on him during the training. Since the two are so comorbid, this could be worth exploring. Yeah, definitely. And this is the thing, because one of the joys of being autistic is that we vibe with other people. We have a sixth sense where we are very bottom-up data processors. We do a phenomenon that is referred to as matrixing, where we unconsciously grab a whole bunch of variables and throw them together to get a picture, which is why autistic people are able to identify other autistic people so easily. But neurotypical people have no idea what to make of us, and we're strange, mysterious cryptids from the woods. So,
right. Or I mean, like, the bullies can pick us out. So they fucking know. Yes. Yeah. Why do they pretend they don't know? And I'm like, I'm really deeply feeling this week how I have to tell you a story. It's not really a.
So this is not a favorite part of being autistic this week.
I'm like, ask me what I love about being autistic, and I'm going to tell you the opposite. I guess my favorite thing is that I could bitch to you about it.
This is right the way. Now.
So, Matt, I'm really going through it with this whole studying psychology thing.
Yes.
I think
it's something that Kat Flora and I have talked about it quite a bit. Yeah.
I think these people hate us. So, okay.
They do.
It's fine. 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 It's going to be fine. So, there's a class. There's
narrator added, it was not in fact fine.
So, there is a class. There's one class on autism. It's in the child development class.
Of course,
I'm not saying there should be more. I'm not saying
there should be more.
I'm just saying
we're 20% of the population, but yes,
go on. I'm just stating the fact. There is one and only one 1 hour lecture on autism. One and only one.
Uh-huh.
You don't have a lot. How bad?
And the title of the lecture is Those Weirdos, What Up With Them?
Yeah. So the whole lecture is about how awesome Lovas is and the Young Autism Project and how we can fix the poor, sad autistic people. And I can't even watch this class. This is not what I'm going to talk about because I think I already talked about this. This class is so bad. I'm like in physical pain watching 5 minutes of this lecture. I'm like, I can't do this. So I do what any autistic person would do. I just wrote a new class. I just put out my PowerPoint.
Yeah.
I was like, if I taught this class, what would I teach? So I made about 100 slides and I put together
the usual number of slides.
Obviously. And then I also did a companion doc going slide for slide. I actually couldn't watch it, but I was able to look at the transcript for each slide. And then I did a companion document for each slide of theirs about what was wrong, how outdated the research was.
That's how I did the DSM criteria. We really need to get do the bad books because I've got this entire shelf full of bad books.
I'm so excited about our bad books.
Yeah, but go on. Yes, yeah.
So then I did a slide for each slide that said debunked, and I debunked each slide with references. Many references, all academic, peer-reviewed references. I then presented, we're getting to my what I didn't love about being autistic this week. I then presented, here's the new class I have created for you. And
you gave it to him.
Yeah, right?
No, yeah.
I figured I'm going to get either money, flowers, or a promotion. That's
because because again, it's autistic way to expect praise for pointing out the fallacies in our superiors. Yes.
Listen, I didn't just point it out. I fixed it for him. It was obviously an oversight.
Yeah.
They're very busy people. I fixed it for you.
Yeah.
Why are you acting like this isn't going to go well? I presented it.
Can't imagine. Yeah.
Matt, with so much documentation, and such careful wording, so many hours of careful wording. And I get called into the principal's office like I have been since I was 4. I don't know. She's the head of fucking something or other.
That's a title. I want to be the head of fucking something or other.
Graduate studies for the psychology department at the University of Kent. Her name is Emma Allen. Look her up.
I'm going to put that on my OnlyFans page. The head of fucking something.
The head of fucking something.
Yeah.
So this is why she wanted to talk to me. Did she want to say, we would like to pay you for your 100 slides? Did she want to say, thank you for all the references? I've looked them up. Did she, Matt? Is that what she wanted to do?
Is she neurotypical? God, no.
She's neurotypical.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh.
She said.
You're fucked.
She said, I love straightforwardness. I love autistic people. I love neurodiversity.
Did she say she has an autistic friend?
I have an autistic friend. I love it when people say it how it is.
Yeah.
Do you sense the butt?
I sense a gigantic butt coming, also available in OnlyFans. Go on.
Gigantic butt. I got a gigantic butt, and I don't know. Here's her gigantic butt. But what we can't have in this department are personal attacks.
Oh, so we're getting into neurotypical fragility. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yes.
Personal attacks? Do personal attacks include 100 slides and 200 academic references?
So
Who am I personally attacking? When did I personally attack them? What does a personal attack look like? Does it include 100 slides? Are you fucking kidding me? What is the personal attack? That's what she wanted to meet me about.
Yeah.
Me and my personal attacks, Matt.
Allistic fragility is such a thing. I've experienced this all throughout my career. I've experienced this on websites, on forums, on the Louisville Therapy Networking group. I was kicked out of it because I was saying, no, that doesn't work. This is the way. No, you can't attack people like that. It's like,
who? What
that's
people?
the thing. That's the thing. That's
Which
the thing.
people?
Because again, when you say, well, you see, I'm autistic and I have this life experience in this, they say that it invalidates them and they take it as a personal attack.
That's what she said. That's what she said. So I was like, let us go line by line. Let us go line by line through. Yeah. And I would like to find the personal attack because I agree with you. Personal attacks are unacceptable.
Yeah. Point out where it is.
Let us find it. They aren't interested in that.
No, because again,
she didn't want to tell me where it was.
No.
She didn't want me to tell her where it was.
No.
She just wanted me to stop immediately or I was going to be removed from the program because I'm personally attacking people.
Because this is the thing. Autistic people argue what is right. Allistics argue who is right. And if you argue, it's a personal attack against the other person rather than an update of information because they are top-down processors that are dependent on social hierarchy. And if you go against this, you attack the social hierarchy. And that is inexcusable. This is a cardinal sin for neurotypicals.
I did it. I did the cardinal sin. Then I asked, would she... the woman who runs the graduate program at the University of Kent, where Damian Milton is located, be open to reading the abstract of the double empathy problem research. Would she, Matt? Would she be open to that? Would she be open to reading a fucking paragraph?
Is she literate?
She's very literate. She runs the fucking graduate. She's the head of fucking something. She's the head
that's how neurotypicals work. If they know people, they just get put in positions regardless of their ability.
Oh.
Yeah. But go on. I'm guessing that she would not like to read that.
She would not.
Because it would be an affront to her the position as someone who is in a position of power. And you have less power, and she does not want to listen to someone who has less power because that's how social hierarchy works.
She would not like to read it.
Yeah.
Shocked, I tell you. Shocked. I am shocked. I was shook. Shocked and shook. Uninterested at all in understanding the double empathy problem and how she might be participating, but smiled the whole time and tell me how excited she was to have autistic people in the program, how she wants to support autistic people more, how she would love me to continue giving feedback as long as it doesn't have personal attacks.
You can give any feedback you like as long as it's that they are right.
Oh, see, she didn't mention that, but I do think you might have a point.
Yeah. So you are learning from this course a lot of lessons that are implicit rather than explicit. The explicit lecture is nonsense. The implicit lecture is neurotypical double standards.
It's so painful. It's literally so painful.
Yeah.
I don't know how you said this thing. I've heard you say it for 2 years. I kind of think it's vaguely, I don't know, kind of boring. One of two autistic diagnosticians. I'm like,
also on my OnlyFans, Matt Lowry says things that are kind of boring. Boring. Go on.
I'm like, one of two autistic diagnosticians, one of two people who could. I'm like, how interesting is that? Holy shit, is that interesting? How does anyone autistic get through this process?
That's the thing that weeds us out. And again, we used to be 3 people in the state who do this, but one of them got burned out, so we're back down to 2.
Right.
So
who's the other person? I don't know how anyone could get through this. I'm like, I have 2 options. Literally, like, debase myself, like poop on myself every day, which I guess is what you did. And
this is the reason I went for an LPP instead of the PhD, because the LPP allows me to do everything that a PhD or a PsyD does, but not supervised. So I didn't have to do as much as, because again, I did a dissertation, but I didn't have to do the whole committee. I didn't have to do the whole socializing. I got the level of accreditation I needed to do the job I wanted to do, but was able to sidestep a lot of the bullshit.
Well, my thing is just like literally just the reading feels like pooping on myself. Like,
hence the large number of terrible books.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, and this is the thing. When you're in school and part of the curriculum is how you're a shit human being.
Yeah, this is the reason. The curriculum.
This is why I was in burnout and why I was in the closet and for so very long, because it was indoctrination that I was a garbage person, which is why I inevitably married someone and had a child with them who also decided that I was a garbage person, because we were on equal footing on that. So
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So I can either argue about everything and mostly lose because of like issues of power.
Yeah.
Right. Or I guess instead of arguing, I can, like, the assignment, I have an assignment now, which is to write a paper about the cure for autism, which is, of course, like ABA and LOVAS and the Young Autism Project. So please write a paper describing what are the traits, what are the deficiencies of autistic people, and how can we help them survive more effectively in this world. So I can either write that, which I won't, I will not, I fucking won't, or I can argue, which just uses up my spoons and I'm going to lose.
Yeah. I found that the word claims is very helpful, because it's a passive aggressive way of saying Lovas claims that the deficiencies are Lovas claims. So you can meet the literal requirements of the project without debasing yourself. But again, they're going to pick up on that and have an argument with you, but they can't win that one, because again, you're doing everything that they
But it's still like such a shitty choice. It's like, let me find a way to do your assignment that doesn't completely dehumanize me.
Yeah.
Or let me lose an argument and fail. Like, I'm like, I don't understand how any autistic person is diagnosing any autistic person, because any sane autistic person would quit. There's no reason not to quit.
This is why there are so few of us, because
I get it now.
Yeah, this is why finding autistic professionals is so very rare, and why finding someone like me or like Stacy Lynn Greeter, the psychiatrist.
Oh, we have to talk about her in a minute.
Yeah, we should have her on an episode.
We should.
We'll have like Amanda Bessinger, one of my friends, Cade Sharp. Finding autistic professionals are few and far between because of the gatekeeping.
Why didn't they quit? They should have quit. Like, seriously, I don't know why.
It is a gauntlet of survival for autistic people in general. In general, to complete a graduate program is difficult because of executive functioning, but in psychology, it's especially difficult because they're constantly attacking us.
Wow, it is shocking to me. It is shocking to me. And with a smile.
Yeah.
And with a gaslighting. So much gaslighting, so much like no personal attacks. What they're like, once I was accused of personal attacks and I was told the way that you get around that is you give sources.
Yeah.
So then I think I got too good at that because there's 200 sources. So 200 sources is a personal attack. No sources is a personal attack.
Yeah.
Is there a right number between 0 and 200? I think not.
A very wise person told me that neurotypicals can't handle a lot of information, and it's basically like putting money in a gumball machine.
Oh, that was me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can only put in a quarter argument. And get a gumball. That's it. Yeah, they can't do more than that. That's what they do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, what
I like how SpongeBob got. We promised a dark turd, and the ALS wasn't dark enough, so we went dark. But this will be a future advocacy episode for sure, because this is going to be the subject of multiple future advocacy episodes, right? Because again, we absolutely desperately need more autistic professionals. We may even get Kat Flora in on this because she's
well, that's what I was going to say. On the things I love about being autistic is I did reach out to Kat Flora, and she at least made me realize I wasn't crazy.
Yeah.
Because I had a moment of like, wait, am I the asshole? Should I be posting on Reddit?
But no. A friend of mine, Bev Harp, is on the Kentucky Autism Council, the acronym CACA. Yes. I'm on that council too, but I'm not allowed to advertise it, even though the neurotypical head of the council is able to advertise it and also get airtime to advertise his clinic because there's a neurotypical double standard. Fuck it. But anyway, I'll see if we can get Bev on here too, because she brought in a behaviorist who teaches at one of the local colleges, and she set up a show like Between Two Ferns, and interviewed this woman with a parrot puppet to talk about how terrible behaviorism is.
Yeah,
because it was fantastic. We'll see if we can get her on too, because yeah, it's cool. But
yes. So,
but anyway,
at least we have each other. That's what I have to say. And we have SpongeBob.
Yeah. Yeah. So speaking of that, thank you for listening to episode 97, SpongeBob is Autistic. You can hear from us on Friday in our advocacy episode. But if you love this culture episode, we're back next week with episode 99. We've done this a lot. On Martha Stewart with the amazing Melanie Diesel from the Late Diagnosed Diaries. Oh, that was your line, not mine.
You're going to love it. No, you could say it. You guys are going to love Mel Diesel. It's going to be great. I can't wait to see you guys for our next culture episode. And I have loved talking SpongeBob with you, Matt.
This is the way. Have a good one.
Thanks for listening to the Autistic Culture Podcast.
If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to check out our advocacy episodes every Friday, where we explore important issues and share strategies for living your best, most authentically autistic life.
And for even more autistic culture, consider becoming a paid member for exclusive perks like Q&A calls live with Matt and I, a virtual writing circle, and our new Self-Defined Living course by Becca Laurie Hector.
Fun fact, it costs us about $8 for every minute you hear or see us on the podcast, but our member pricing is just $8 a month. What a bargain! Buy one, get 500 free. Seriously, if you could afford it, we would really appreciate your contribution. It makes this all possible.
And of course, the best way everyone can support what we're doing here is to rate, review, share, and subscribe on Substack or your favorite podcast app.
This is the way.